Sabeel, the legislature has issued its first subpoenas since the Bridgegate scandal target New Jersey Transit. Tell us about it.
When I get stonewalled by NJ Transit when I'm asking them a question that I want the answer to but might shed a negative light on the agency, they just ignore my question, but I make sure I show you my GoPro video so you know that I asked. But when NJ Transit does the exact same thing to New Jersey legislators who make up the Assembly Judiciary Committee, that does not go over so well. They end up getting subpoenaed and they have to give the information. So Assembly Judiciary Committee Chairman John McKeon has subpoenaed NJ Transit to shatter their stonewall. They did ask nicely first, but were ignored. And now NJ Transit has to release correspondence between NJ Transit officials and Governor Christie's administration from March onward related to the plan to deal with the summer of hell for commuting on NJ Transit and the Amtrak closings and the infrastructure improvements for New York Penn Station. They also want information on New Jersey Transit revenues and fares. They want to take a whole look at the financial picture of this agency. New Jersey legislators obviously realize that this agency is problematic. Thousands of commuters have been complaining over and over about all the train delays they have to deal with and being on the train instead of being at work where they need to be in the mornings because of all the issues, and also the dangers. There was the actual deadly train derailment that happened in Hoboken back in September. So in order for legislators to help fix the problem, they need to know what the parameters of the problem are, hence the subpoenas. So now we're joined by Assemblyman John Wisniewski, who is a public antagonist of Governor Christie, and we're also joined by Jim McQueeny, who's the host of NJ Now.
So just to summarize, Assemblyman, this is basically sort of an autopsy of NJ Transit. Are they kind of trying to open it up and see what Governor Christie's been doing with the agency? Is that your read on this?
So when you issue those subpoenas, you don't know what you're going to get. As we found out when we issued subpoenas to the governor's office during Bridgegate, you don't always get the cooperation you think you're going to get with the subpoena. And I've seen these problems firsthand. And we know the big problems, right? Penn Station, the tragic derailment in Hoboken, but simple things. I was at the train station campaigning, and a guy came up to me and he said, "You ought to know that the other day I was coming home, the train just blew through the station. Didn't stop at the station. I had to get off at the next station." There are lots of problems throughout the system, and what Assemblyman McKeon is doing, trying to get to the root of it.
But John, if I could for a second, what more will New Jersey Transit be able to say that they haven't said before? And what they've said before, and Sabeel's been on my show when we've had transit people on and talked about this issue, and I think they continually give what I call the Ralph Cramden, Jackie Gleason defense. A humana, 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 humana.
But it all comes back to the governor. I mean, this agency is not an independent agency. Let's be honest about it. It's an agency whose leadership is chosen by the governor. It's an agency where the governor has put his political appointees for greener pastures. It's an agency that is run out of the front office, and the front office has to take responsibility for the problems.
I'm getting a flashback to the talk after the Bridgegate trial about impeaching Governor Christie. The governor's got barely 5 months left on his term. What good is a subpoena right now? Is this just political posturing?
Well, no, the subpoena will get answers. Theoretically, they are compelled.
But is it going to get solutions?
But this is the issue we are faced with Bridgegate. I mean, first you need to get the material before you can come up with the answer.
Or you think there's going to be a time for some traffic problems email in there?
I don't know.
Think there's going to be the equivalent?
You never know what you're going to get. I mean, it's the old Forrest Gump line. You never know what you're going to get out of this subpoena. But theoretically, they're going to get the answers that they haven't been able to willingly get from transit officials.
Thanks for the story.